Welcome to the Las Ciénegas National Conservation Area near Patagonia, Arizona. It's February 3rd. I think the temperature topped out about 78 degrees today. So I've been doing a little bit of gravel riding and home sweet home here. Maybe in a different video I'll review the awning tent and the shower, which was very welcome today. So I decided to do a 2,000 mile review of the Lauf Seigla. I probably said that wrong. So this is a bike I got in April and haven't ridden it. It's not my main bike, so I haven't ridden it a lot since then. Plus, took a few months out of town, so I didn't even have it with me. One of the nice things about this bike when you're traveling is that because it has 700C wheels, and I came from a Canyon Grail aluminum 2019 with 650Bs and no suspension. It was a Shimano 105 2x, which actually is a faster bike than this, in my opinion, or in my experience. But this bike, upgraded to this. This is the Weekend Warrior, so it's a 2024 model. The new ones are out and they've made some changes to them, including adding some, they ship them now with 50mm tires. These are 45s. Wasn't sure I was gonna like these Maxxis Ramblers because I was used to WTB Resolutes, and actually I love them, so I just ordered another pair. One thing is that let's talk about the good stuff on the bike, and then I'll get into some of the stuff I didn't like. The suspension fork works as advertised. It is really, really nice, really smooths out the road. Also, like I was about to say, I travel with it. When I travel with just this bike, and I take a pair of road wheels. And boy, putting road wheels on this bike and riding over some pavement, if you're used to a race bike like my Pinarello, it's like riding your couch. Of course, you can't get any speed because you spin out on your gears, but man, it's a comfortable ride. So this one is the blue finish, and it's a matte finish. I didn't know it was a matte finish until I got it. I just didn't notice online. My girlfriend's bike, we bought two at the same time. Hers is pink and it's a glossy finish, and it's a beautiful bike. The matte really attracts the dirt. So hers stays a little bit cleaner than mine, and I've been riding through water and puddles today and dust and dirt, so it's dirty. It needs a cleaning, but that's what these bikes are for. Love the frame. Love the handlebars that it came with. They're very, very comfortable. Looks like I nicked it there a little bit. I really like that you can ride here in this position, and it's really comfortable. The suspension in the front really makes the ride quality so much nicer. I feel like I can ride much further, especially when we hit washboards. These roads weren't very washboardy. Not too much sand. Got into a lot of rock today, a lot of chunky stuff, and the bike performed really well, better than I did. So the frame does not come with anything for making attachments, so I bought these Toe Peak clamps here, and so I've got my water here, and then I've got a cage here, another Toe Peak cage that I added to it, where I carry my lunch or food or whatever. Carry my tools down here, and of course the water. And I went with the Weekend Warrior. I never had SRAM before, and this came with SRAM Rival, and I was really excited to try it, and I am not very happy with SRAM. When this bike arrived, within 2 days, I had to take it in for shifting adjustments. It was dropping the chain, and just right away. It has a horrible creaking sound that comes and goes out of the bottom crank. You don't hear it all the time. It's just sometimes on a really steep climb where you're really putting in a lot of power, you hear this horrible creaking sound, and it's just, can't isolate it. It just comes and goes. When we installed the wheels, they come tubeless ready, but you have to set them up tubeless. And actually they have this little valve that's supposed to help with that. Well, mine on the rear cracked when I was putting it in. When I was trying to fill it up, it just cracked. So I had to replace the valve right away. My girlfriend's bike, I set it up tubeless, and you'll notice that these through bolts here are labeled 12 Newton meters. And so I cranked everything down to 12 Newton meters. We went for a ride, got back. I was gonna check her tire, I was gonna take it off, and I could not get the rear wheel off. And this was the second day of having the bike. So I had to take it to a mechanic because it was just stuck. Couldn't undo it. And he worked it and worked it and worked it back and forth, and finally got it undone. And we discovered that there's a piece over here on this end that had failed and was causing it to not, he was unable to, it had like, I don't think it had cross-threaded, but he couldn't get it, he couldn't unscrew it. And he finally got it unscrewed, so we had to replace this part. Now Lauf was pretty good about customer service for that. You have to find a mechanic and find the parts, and then I sent them the tickets and they reimbursed me, so that was cool. But still, you know, here I am the first week on these bikes and having all kinds of problems. The battery indicators that go to your Garmin, it's supposed to connect with the shifters immediately, and then as you ride you get an indication, but it doesn't stay connected. It's just, it connects at the beginning and it gives you an indication. Well, that works most of the time. My girlfriend's bike, the left one, was not communicating at all, no matter what we tried. Switched the battery out, it started communicating, and now it's kind of hit or miss. It communicates and doesn't communicate sometimes. On my fifth ride, I had charged the batteries fully. On my fifth ride, the battery died, and it went from a totally full indication to nothing on the same ride. And so I carry an extra battery with me now. That is nice that you can swap these out on the fly. I mean, that's kind of cool that they do that. Shimano, you got to charge it. If you're out there without a battery or with a dead battery, you're just screwed. So that's kind of cool. But the brakes, I've had trouble with the brakes to the point of this rear brake pad had to be replaced. I've had to take it in for brake drag more than once. It just gets, they don't get warped or anything. I don't know what to say about that. The chain, after it had 1,000 miles on it, had to be replaced. That was causing me some shifting issues. I've never replaced a chain after 1,000 miles on my other gravel bike, and certainly not on my road bike. Anyway, so I asked the mechanic, I could have spent an extra $1,000 on this to go up a level, and I would have gotten the next level of trim, and would have gotten carbon wheels. And I decided not to do that because I thought, well, these aren't our primary bikes anyway, and $1,000 is $1,000, right? I thought I could always add some carbon wheels later if I really thought I needed them. These wheels have been great. I don't think I need carbon wheels. The carbon wheels for my road bike, I might put some 40s on there and try it one day with those and see how I like it on gravel, see if it makes a difference. But the ride is so nice. It came with a Physique saddle that I don't know, I don't know if it was the bottom of the line saddle or what, but it's the most uncomfortable saddle that it comes with, and it comes in a 45. So I immediately got rid of those and put on this WTB Gravelier. If you've never tried this saddle, this is the most comfortable saddle, road or gravel, I've ever ridden, ever. It does have attachment points for the top tube bag, which makes it look really clean. I really like that, and I love this top tube bag. This is an excellent, it's the Race, Apidura Race top tube bag, and it is I just leave it on there all the time. It looks good, and it's very utilitarian. So I love it. my girlfriend's bike. I do not tighten these to 12 Newton meters because if she was by herself, she could not get them undone with a multi-tool. So I put her, if she's riding by herself, I'll put them on 8. Mine I have on 12, and I'll tell you, it is a challenge to get them off with a multi-tool if you have a flat out there, but it can be done. So yeah, not so happy with the SRAM. Lots of issues with that, but love the bike. Love the bike. Would buy it again for sure. Especially love the suspension and the fork in the front. But the SRAM, I don't know what to say about it. I guess if you went up a level, maybe, I've got a friend that has 2 of these bikes and he's had no problems. So maybe I just got a couple of bad ones out of the batch. But anyway, for gravel riding in Arizona, it's been a great bike to have. And can't beat the weather right now either. So that's my review on the Lauf, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and if I think of something else, I'll also drop something in the comments. And yeah, so little view, there's a prairie dog reintroduction area right over there, and yeah, just lots of great terrain to ride. So don't come down just for Patagonia. Hit this place. It's pretty close. It's near Sonoyta, so another place to hit. And lots of good tracks on dirtyfreehub.org if you're looking for places to ride. So and all the comforts of home when you get back from a long ride. So that's it from Arizona for now.